Hey guys, what's up? This is a very unplanned random video, but I wanted to show you guys how I make my fried chicken sandwiches. Yes, I know, not healthy at all, but so good. I'd like discovered this a couple of weeks ago when I was just like playing around in the kitchen because I love to cook, you know, like I have other cooking videos on this channel, and I decided for lunch today, I'm home alone, so I was going to make myself just a chicken sandwich. It's really simple, really easy. I would kind of compare it to the Popeyes chicken sandwich, except better because theirs is good, but it's so just like greasy, you know, and this one's just like a crunchy, juicy chicken tender sandwich. So right now I have some frozen chicken thawing out. I'm not cooking all of this, but they're all like frozen together. I might cook 2 of the chicken breasts just in case like someone else in my family wants some of it later. But I think I'm just gonna take 2 out of this. It takes like less than 1 for 1 chicken sandwich, if you were wondering, because you know a bun is only so big. So, and I cut them up into strips. So while the chicken is thawing out, I'm over here preparing. I like to have it in bowls just because it makes it so easy. I was actually doing this when I decided I would film it. So what I'm doing, I'm taking 2 eggs and I'm just going to whisk these up, and that's just going to allow the rest of the things to kind of just stick. Depending on how much you're making, you might need more, but 2 is plenty for how much I'm making. And then I actually have this kind of out of order. This is probably like about a cup of flour. Sometimes I see a lot of recipes call for like half a cup. Just yeah, I feel like about a cup is good. And then also about half a cup to 3/4 a cup of panko breadcrumbs. And then we're gonna put some seasoning in this. So salt and pepper is the key. If you don't have salt and pepper, then what are you doing? So I'm just gonna put, I don't know, about like tablespoon, half a tablespoon of pepper, and we're just going to kind of put a little bit of pepper in everything to make sure it really gets on the chicken. Same thing with the salt. I don't do as much salt, but still a good bit of salt. And also in the flour, this is like the first step to the chicken. I'm going to kind of mix a couple different things in there. Not a lot of anything, because once you get this like golden brown and flaky, it doesn't really matter, but the seasoning just kind of makes it pop, you know what I'm saying? So none of this makes it spicy. I don't really want it to be like a super spicy chicken sandwich, but I want it to have like a little bit of flavor. So we're gonna put like a dash, like all this is just gonna be like a little dash of ground red pepper. Also a little dash of garlic powder. Just, I'm talking like a dash. Garlic, salt, maybe like 2 dashes, and this isn't gonna make it taste garlicky like you're probably thinking. It's just gonna give it like a little bit of a kick. And then just a tiny dash of cayenne pepper. So yeah, just about that much, just to kind of give it a little bit of flavor, because you don't want it like plain. And then I'm just gonna kind of mix all this up so it's really not, you can tell, like overwhelming it all. I may add some more pepper because I love pepper. And we got our eggs ready to go. I don't even know if I got to this, but these are panko breadcrumbs. This makes the biggest difference of all, honestly. It makes it so crunchy. It's the brand I have. I've used all different brands, just generic brands are fine too. I just loved it because it makes it so crunchy. I went ahead and put 2 of the chicken breasts back in the freezer, and so I have the other 2 in here defrosting to try to hurry up the process so we can cut them up. Okay, so please ignore the microwave in the back, but this is just a pan of vegetable oil. First time I made these, I did like a thicker, like, you know, frying pan, like, you know, thick pan, and like deep fried them. But this time I think I'm gonna try to like flip them like one side to the other, because I feel like that's what a lot of people do anyway, and I don't want to waste a lot of oil, and so I think this is perfectly fine. So we're just gonna, yeah, so I'm just letting you know vegetable oil is also what you'll need. Okay, so it's a couple minutes later and the chickens are defrosted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them up into strips. I feel like just frying the whole chicken breast is going to take longer, and it's not as easy to determine when it's done. So that's why I always like to just cut it up into like tenders. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna start by like cutting all the fat off, and then we're gonna do not super thick, but like 1 inch thick, or maybe a little bit smaller than 1 inch strips. So it'll fry quicker, and then also it's just easier to kind of determine how much to put on your sandwich. Just wash my hands off after I touch that chicken, but I'm just gonna kind of lightly go over these with some more salt and pepper, just because you don't want to risk them not being seasoned at all. So we're just gonna go over with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then kind of just toss these around. And you can see, like, I have like one like little piece, but for the most part they're just like 1 inch that way and then like ½ an inch this way, if that makes sense. It does not have to be exactly that. However thick you like your tenders, that's fine. I just find that they're super juicy. I hate that word, but they're super juicy if you keep it like this. So first step, what we're gonna do, you take a tender and toss it in the flour, just like one layer. So ba-bam. Then after that, you take it into the egg wash. I don't know, is this an egg wash? I guess an egg wash is technically like washing it with eggs. Then after you do one layer of the eggs on both sides, take it into the panko. Now you're probably thinking a lot of the flour is gone, but what I like to do is go back into the flour one last time to do a gentle scrub of the flour, just to make sure it's kind of coated in that. So yeah, and that's what it will look like. Okay, so I just got a plate out to stick the tenders once I'm done with them. So you can see they're gonna be super crunchy because of the panko and also because of the flour. And you don't have to go back and do that extra layer of flour. I just find like if you want super crunchy chicken tenders, it helps. And I'm turning on the oil now, so I have it a little bit above medium. So while that's heating up, I will go and do these. Okay, so a lot of people, when you see them cook, they'll use like tongs to toss it gently so your hands don't look like this. And I promise you, my left hand is clean. I'm not touching my camera with this hand. I would not do that. Y'all know that. But you can see the panko, that was like the perfect amount. So it was probably about 3/4 a cup. 2 eggs was perfect. And then you could do a little bit less flour, so you could probably do like ½ a cup. And this is gonna make like about, it can be like 3 to 4 sandwiches with just 2 chicken breasts. And typically, to see if it's heated, some people have like the actual, what is it, not a thermostat, but like thermometer thing. But for me, when I see if it's heated up, I just put like a couple little crumbs in there and see what it does. So this is obviously not fully ready yet. And then also, after the chicken is like fried and like cooling down, we will do our buns, how I do. And I just have hamburger buns. The best buns ever are like the potato buns or potato rolls. They're the brand that Shake Shack uses. I'll put it on the screen right here. I can't remember the name. They're just so good, but any kind of bun will do. These are just like regular soft white hamburger buns. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and just lay the chicken tenders down. And this is where you will want to have some tongs to flip them or a fork, just whatever you can use, I guess. And so we're just gonna lay them in there. Do not burn your hand. That would be really bad. Okay, so these are all, you can see, lying down on one side. And even though this is a super shallow pan, since they are kind of like thinner chicken tenders, it is like enough grease to where you'll just, you know, have to flip them. So you don't have to worry about filling up too much oil, not grease, you know what I mean. So I went ahead and got out another plate, and I put a paper towel down so that way when I take them up, you'll just lay them on there to get the grease off. And then, so they're still going, and I just got out this pan for what we're gonna do for our buns. And so we are going to butter both sides. We'll do this in a second. We're gonna butter both sides with just some butter and then toast them. That's like the key to a good chicken sandwich versus a great chicken sandwich. You gotta have that toasted bun. So you can see some of them are getting a little bit more golden brown, and we can go ahead and flip these that look like this. So they were kind of, I think, maybe placed in there first. So we're gonna go ahead and flip these that have like a stronger side. Okay, this one's good enough to flip. Some of these just aren't ready to flip yet. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes now. I know a couple of these I flipped a little bit sooner. So about 5 minutes in, I'm gonna go ahead and flip all of them. Okay, so since I just flipped them, I'm gonna leave them on this side until they are super golden brown. I know a couple of them I got to flip sooner, but again, like it took like at least like 5 to 6 minutes probably, I would say. And then so now we are going to let them cook until they get super golden brown, because I can always flip them again because I want them to have that super nice dark crunch to them. Okay, so you can see I just flipped a couple more of them, just one more time, because they were starting to get golden brown, so I wanted to go back to the original side to make sure they get super nice and crispy. But these three still have to be flipped again. I feel like it was just like in the order that I put them in there. This guy right here is about done. He's about ready to come out. So we're gonna go ahead and take out this little guy to see if he's done. And then also gonna take out his big brother. And I'm just gonna kind of peep this guy open to see what he looks like. So I'm gonna get actually a different fork. If you know me, you know like I cannot handle germs. Okay, so look. So that is what a done chicken tender looks like. It's all white, there's no pink, and it's super easy to peel it apart. And that's when you know it is a done chicken tender. And you don't want to overcook them. That's like the main thing, because then they will be just super dry. And I don't want a dry chicken. So this guy looks like he's done too. And so you can see like they have this nice batter on them, and they're super crunchy because of the panko, but they're not overdone like Popeyes. Popeyes is like pure batter on the outside. I'm gonna leave these two thicker boys in here just a couple more seconds. And while these two guys are still going, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on to get this heated up, so that way it'll quickly toast our bread and we won't be sitting here too long waiting. Oh yeah. Okay, now these guys are done. Okay, so I just went ahead and did like a standard layer of butter on a bun, and then we're gonna kind of put all this away, and I'm just gonna let this heat up for a couple more minutes because I don't think it's fully done. And we're gonna take the grease off the stove, and this is where you have to like take out the grease. Do not put this in the sink, that would be bad. Also, two things to make it like a true southern fried chicken sandwich. You gotta have like a little bit of mayo and pickles. I get like a lot of people don't like this, but I promise you, when you have like the buttered toasted bread fried chicken, this is what like sends it over the edge. And you can see also, want you to know, like I will not be eating all this chicken. It does make a lot, so this is enough for like 4 sandwiches with 2 chicken breasts. So yeah, because honestly, like on a little bun, it depends on like how much you want. Like my brother, I know he can eat like 2 sandwiches, and a lot of people can, but it just really again depends on how many people you're feeding. But I would say like 1 chicken breast can pretty much feed 2 people. I don't know why I didn't have the bright idea to just put it on this stove since it's already hot. So I just turned that off and turned this one back on, because it'll, you know, heat up faster because we just had all this grease on it. So now we're toasting our buns. Also, I'm gonna do a little taste test with this guy. That's so good. Like this little guy, so good. But if you want to know of any like sandwich sauce recipes, I can do that also. I'm not doing it today because this doesn't need it, but I can make like the Shake Shack burger sauce and some other like chicken sauces and stuff that are just so good. So let me know if I can make a whole video on sauces, like for real. Okay, so the chicken is cooling down. It's still like super hot. But we're gonna check on our buns. Okay, they're getting there. You really gotta watch your buns because you'll turn away like you'll look 1 second and they'll be like super light like that, and then the next you'll come back and they will be like black. So you really have to keep an eye on these guys. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take this guy too. He is very hot. I was gonna grab it with my fingers, but couldn't do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a thin layer. I promise you, even if you don't like mayo, it's so good with this chicken sandwich. Okay, hot. That is still super hot. Totally understand that some people just don't like pickles. That's fine, but you should give them another go. So I'm gonna go in with this first tender that we broke up. Like look, see, like 1 tender takes up almost the whole chicken sandwich. So because I'm also gonna take a picture of this delicious looking guy, I did like 1.5 tenders, so you can see it just makes a ton. Probably shouldn't have cooked this much, but bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That is beauty. I hate people watching me eat, but I felt like that was necessary. So good, so crunchy, but also so juicy at the same time. You're gonna love it. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know. I have so many recipes that I could share on here, so yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more. Have fun with your chicken sandwich, and if you make it, tag me on Instagram because I would love to see what you do. Bye guys, have a blessed day.